Yo, YouTube, today we are bringing you on a behind the scenes product shoot. We are in this dope empty studio and we're gonna be using this black wall as our main wall. Got my boy Frankie right here. Steve and Tyler are floating around. You'll see them, you've seen them in the videos before. So let's unload the car and then stick around for more behind the scenes so we could show you guys what gear that we're using, what cameras we're using, how we're gonna be lighting up this backpack that we're shooting for, and a whole bunch of other tips and tricks. Let's go. Can't forget the tube lights right here. Got 6 of them. Gonna get some RGB hopefully going. We got the mixed panel 150, a couple other Nanlites. All right, so currently we have Nanlite mixed panel 150 on a C-stand. We have the FS 300, and then we have a Forza 60B with the small softbox. Hopefully to get this keen from behind the product. What do we got going on over here? Just some steaming?
Trying to just iron out damn wrinkles off this thing.
So we're gonna put some Duvetine on top of the table so it could be all black. We don't really want the table to be seen. All right, so we got Tyler hazing up the room. We're using right now the new Nanlite 4-foot tubes. We got 2 on each side. And then we also have the mix panel down here, popping out our device from behind. And this is how it's looking like on camera. All right, everybody, I hope you're enjoying watching the behind the scenes video right now. I just want to pull you out of that video and show you a screen grab real quick and go over our lighting breakdown. Unfortunately, on location, we didn't have enough time because of the studio rental, and I didn't want to take that much time away from our client's project. So let's go over this real quick. I'll show you what key lights we're using, what accent lights we're using for a little pop of color, and just to give you more or less an idea as you watch the rest of the behind the scenes video, what each light is doing and why we put it there. So let's waste no more time, dive into this and get back to the video. So for our first main key light, we threw up to camera right, up high, facing this direction, our Nanlite FS 300, which filled in a lot of the top of the bag and more or less majority of the front of the bag. And one thing we noticed, just like lighting interviews or anything else, now this whole side was nicely lit, but camera left was super dark. The levels were just crushed. So what we decided to do was take a Nanlite Forza 60B with a small octaboxing grid, boom it up high, and drop it down, hitting the whole left side of the backpack. We didn't crank up the power. We wanted it enough to just lift those shadows up ever so slightly and continue to maintain our 3-dimensional look, pretty much wrapping the light around the backpack. This way you get this nice gradient of light going from right to left, and it doesn't seem like a really high key look. It's still moody, dramatic, and cinematic. Next, you'll notice in the behind the scenes, we're shooting against a black backdrop, but that wouldn't make sense if we're shooting a dark bag where the whole webbing and stitching and even the shaker cups would just fall off into this black backdrop. So I had 2 Nanlite PavoTubes just outside the camera, left and right. They were set to a color that matched the drawstring on the backpack, and just so that we can have a pop of color and a nice gradient going from bottom to top, of just to give some more interest and make it feel more high end. I love how the light's hitting the edge of the bottle over here, and more or less just creating that separation from the background. But lastly, we just had a little bit too much of a dark area here, being that the gradients from the tube lights kind of stop over here just before it hit the middle of the frame. So on the floor, we just put a mix panel 150 by Nanlite with the barn doors direction towards the backpack, just hitting like this back part of the backpack so that you have more separation. And once again, this whole area wouldn't be darker, it just would look weird. So now that I showed you what more or less each one of our lights are doing, let me know in the comments below if you're liking this type of breakdown and BTS video, and let's hop back into that BTS video and show you guys the rest of how we shot this product. All right, so right now we are setting the bag up for our levitation shot. We have a speed rail on top. We're using 2 Mathelinis right here to hold the speed rail. We're gonna have fishing line. All right, so right now I'm just adjusting the power on the mix panel. Yeah, that gradient's cleaner on the bottom.
Yeah.
So we took the mix panel down. I think we need weight in the bag to like weigh it so it doesn't rock or anything.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Like it doesn't even need to be anything crazy. I would actually lower it a little bit and kind of center the bag in the frame. All right, so we're doing some suspension shots right now, using a safety chain on the top. All right, so right now we're gonna get our levitation shot with the bag rotating. We have fishing line, which you could barely even see, and we'll be removing that in post. All right, Frankie, let her rip, tater chip. Okay, so another thing that we're doing is different versions for web, social media. So we're doing like 16:9s, 9:16s, 4:5 crops. So for some of our hero shots, we do have to pull the sticks back further away to make sure we use our guidelines with the crop. So we're doing 2 different versions of everything except for the detail shots, which we could adjust in post to fit the different aspect ratios. But for our wide hero shots, we are pulling the sticks back so we get the full item in the shot. We're gonna do another version with the tube lights flickering on each side and above, just to highlight the item and it going from light to dark, etc. Just to have some variety in our shots. Those are like alternating and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you gotta remember, like this shot's gonna be slowed down in post, so the lights won't be as fast. They'll be a little bit more. And then Steve, we want to do one at 40% maybe for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Just as a safety. Just have like the rig from the top that they keep spinning.
Yeah.
You wanna talk like to the camera?
No. I think we're good.
So we'll get this and then I'll back off more.
For the vertical version,
yeah.
just to have. Cool. Alright, now we're using the paparazzi effect with the strobe lights. And with our key light up top.
No quit story is the same. For free support, Fix Back and Quit to 6.
You want me to drop the lines? All right, so as of right now, we got all the detail shots out of the way, right, Steve?
Yes, we did.
And now we're gonna be just doing some 360 shots with the bag suspended ever so slightly. And we're just filming it in slow motion right now. All right, so right now we're showing the details of the inside of the bag. It's looking like this. We're using a safety chain to prop the back of it up. And then what we're going to do is swing this overhead light to really go from dark to light
There you
inside.
go. Perfect. Yep. Turn all the way like to opposite of me.
All
Yeah.
the way behind us, right?
Yeah, and go around. Yeah, come back around. Yep.
All right, so we just wrapped up the shoot.